Hi, we are Team UXercise, and this is our final capstone presentation for our LA Fitness redesign. I'm joined with Alyssa and Lauren today as we present to you our work over the past year that we've done for our project to conclude the program. So we'll be sharing our process, including user research methods, design methods, usability testing, and other supplemental information that was key in aiding with this project. So our objective is to elevate the user experience through a more functional and engaging platform in order to increase app usage and foster a stronger connection with the LA Fitness brand. Some of the key features we have incorporated to elevate this change include real-time gym updates, including gym capacity and machine availability, AI recommendations such as customized meal and workout plans, wearables integration that syncs with wearable devices, and AR and VR experiences, which includes some group fitness classes, immersive workout experience, and virtual trainers. To overview the user research process, we utilize 4 methods: literature reviews, surveys, focus group interviews, and competitive benchmarking, which were all key in helping us obtain the information needed to start our redesign. So for the literature review, we were able to analyze 5 scholarly articles highlighting key factors influencing user satisfaction and motivation within fitness apps. We found that successful fitness apps rely on emotional design and personalized motivation, intuitive, high-quality design, effective UI, and visual communication. These are all key in enhancing engagement and learning and ultimately improves user retention. Motivational elements such as gamification and feedback drive behavioral changes and boost motivation as well. So next, we conducted a focus group interview consisting of 3 30-minute focus group sessions. 2 groups familiar with gym and wellness apps, while 1 group is unfamiliar with gym and wellness apps. So participants shared their ideal gym app features and feedback on the LA Fitness app itself. And our key findings were that participants, they disliked the LA Fitness UI, claiming it was outdated and visually unappealing. We found that primary features include reservations, scanning in, and checking gym hours, and users want a more personalized personalization, such as like a statistics feature. So after that, we sent out a survey using Qualtrics, where we were able to gather 61 participant responses on what participants preferred in their enhancements and features for gym apps. So to organize the data, we used affinity mapping, where we found that features helping driving motivation include tracking metrics, reminder notifications, positive affirmation, and rewards. And participants wanted to see more advanced health monitoring, comprehensive analytics, and AI for personalized recommendations. So our last research method is competitive benchmarking, where we performed a detailed analysis of leading fitness apps, comparing UI design, features, and more. So we found that the LA Fitness app falls short in several key areas against competitors, such as lacking unique features and modern and sleek designs and user satisfaction, with an app store rating of actually 2.2 out of 5, which is significantly lower than the rest of them, as they're all about like 4.5 and above stars. So we'd also like to show you our persona we developed, Alex. Alex represents our target user as he's focused on achieving his fitness goals through bettering his health and wellness. In his fitness app, he desires a virtual trainer, nutrition tracking to keep track of macros and protein, and progress tracking to view his growth, and community features to connect with others through fitness.
Now for the UI design in this section, we're going to review the LA Fitness current design, a few pain points, the user interface guidelines, task analysis, and information architecture, and then where the design first started. So to start, we have the LA Fitness current user interface. This is what their app looks like right now. We have the home, membership, and check-in stats. And as Lily mentioned from our focus group interviews, users suggested that the app was a bit outdated. It was feeling a little visually dull with lack of images, color, or icons. And the information architecture was a bit confusing, as everything was a bit unlabeled, or you had to go into multiple pages to access something. And some usability and limited features, like lacking basic features compared to the current competitors, and it doesn't have anything exciting. Like, users are struggling with the current booking and app, but it also didn't have any new or exciting features to offer. Next, please. For the user interface guidelines, we use the font Laraset in light, regular, medium, semi-bold, and bold. We used consistent font weights across all of the UI elements. And for the color palette, we kept LA Fitness colors for consistent branding across the app. Certain colors played roles on certain pages. So for instance, yellow was for classes, orange for favorites, and dark blue for navigation. And we fully capitalized titles for clarity and hierarchy. We prioritized the shape and icon consistency throughout the prototype. And we typically used the 20-unit corner radius for a more modern mobile look. Next, please.
In addition, we did some task analysis, and task analysis really allowed us to break down and better understand how users are currently interacting with the LA Fitness app and also how they plan to engage with our app moving forward in the future. This process helped us pinpoint where users may struggle, such as unclear navigation paths or repetitive steps, and informed us for good opportunities for streamlining those interactions as we think about redesigning some of the current app navigation. In the end, it really helped us improve functionality and make the app a bit more intuitive and easy to use. In the same light, we also mapped out some information architecture as well. We had a very good understanding of the existing information architecture, but then obviously wanted to enhance that for greater usability. So we redesigned the app's IA with the goal of creating, again, a more intuitive, user-centered experience, focusing on simplifying navigation, reducing redundancy, and grouping related content in meaningful ways.
For sketching and wireframing, so prior to reaching this stage, we worked through all of our ideas by rating them. So we rated them based on desirability, feasibility, uniqueness, and then moved on with our highest rated ideas and began to sketch those out. So we sketched the main navigation and home pages here, and then based on initial research, we tried to focus on like basic features that the LA Fitness app wasn't as successful in, like checking in easily, going to my classes, booking a class. And then from those sketches, we pretty much jumped or moved rather quickly into the low fidelity prototype.
So when looking at our first round of testing, we started with our first round of usability testing, rather. We started with 2 rounds to better understand how users were interacting with our app, how they felt about certain functionalities and features, and also what they'd like to see in our kind of new and improved version as well. We conducted this usability test in UserZoom, where we were able to capture their behaviors, but also their thoughts as they were navigating through each of these tasks. They were asked to think out loud. For the core usability tests or tasks that we were testing in this first study, the core experiences included scan in, check gym and equipment availability, book a class, track your workout progress, workout from home, and visualizing results. When thinking about our participants and looking at those demographics, this is at a high level outline of who we were able to connect with. Since this usability test was more qualitative leaning, we got that really rich feedback. We didn't require as high of a sample for this particular study. We had 6 participants who had used gym apps before. In terms of frequency, about half went to the gym fairly regularly from daily to several times a week, and the other half were much more infrequent gym goers. At a high level, this gives an overview of our results from our round 1 of usability testing. You can see that each of the tasks had a relatively high success. I will note that the success was self-identified in terms of they chose whether they thought they completed the task successfully or not. So the stats and data that really spoke to us especially were the follow-up questionnaires, which spoke to how easy or difficult they felt the task was easy to complete, and also how confident they were that they completed the task successfully. And from all of this data, we were able to identify both areas that had room for improvement, but also some areas that were doing pretty well as is. So kind of starting with the good things, the digital member card was very easy for individuals to find right off the bat. They, liked a lot of the features and functionalities, which was great, but there was also room for improvement. And kind of just even looking at this list here, you can visually see that a lot of that was in regards to the information architecture. They found a number of the pages and layouts a little bit confusing. With their first version as well, there was some feedback that certain buttons didn't work, which was partially due to the fact that, this was a V1 of our prototype. So I think some of that feedback was very natural. But all in all, these key takeaways were really valuable, both the good and the bad, in helping shape our next redesign.
All right, so based on comprehensive feedback from round 1 of testing, we updated the prototype to evaluate whether those changes would lead to improved user performance. So for the homepage, user feedback was that the navigation was a little bit confusing. Some buttons didn't work, like using the widgets to view upcoming classes or reservations. So to help the user, we changed the book icon, as it was a little bit confusing, even when we had a label underneath that said book, stats, favorites, and AR. They still were finding it difficult to find. We moved the running man icon as well to the health section and added a graph, and then made the occupancy widget a little more clear by adding my gym. Added the nutrition goals widget up at the top right, and other visual changes like replacing the fire icon and adjusting some spacing. Next. For membership, the user feedback was that the digital sign-in process was quick and easy, which is great. We did notice that the check-in stats was a little bit redundant, as we already had it visible on the homepage, so we removed that. And then the back button wasn't easily found or intuitive, so we added some color behind that, and then added notification and settings icons for consistency. And occupancy. So user feedback, the occupancy page was a bit unclear. It needs to clarify that it includes the equipment availability as well, because users didn't know that. So to help the user, we added the title occupancy, we labeled the widget my gym, and we changed the icon. We added those little pop-up messages for the location and equipment occupancy, and we updated the background color for better readability. So book a class became reservations. I think this was probably the biggest overhaul. So user feedback was that make a reservation versus book a class was a bit unclear, which I can see in hindsight. So we changed that into the reservations hub with my classes, my court reservations, book a class, and book a court. There was duplicate book now buttons, which was causing some confusion, and some booking dropdowns weren't working. So we added the autofill dropdowns and removed the duplicate book now button. Similarly, stats became health and wellness. So user feedback was that meals and groceries don't belong under stats, and physique projection and planning tools need to be grouped better. So we solve that by renaming this entire page to be health and wellness. So now each of those things, activity tracking, nutritional goals, and today's workout, fit nicely in there. And there were some comments from users that physique projection should have its own call out as well. So we were able to implement that on this page. And for nutritional goals, the user feedback was, again, meals and groceries should be under planning or nutrition, not stats, which was solved by the health and wellness page section, as well as adding the widget to the homepage. And then we added a back button so you can easily go back to the health and wellness page. And we just did a little bit of reorganizing, added some check marks for visual progress, and adjusted some UI copy. And for tracking and workout, the user feedback, again, was planning tools like workouts should be grouped with related features, which was solved when we combined everything under the health tab. So to further kind of aid the user here, we added a back button to return to the health section, improved the language clarity, and added check marks here as well for progress tracking. And lastly, join group. So there were not very many changes to this page, but user feedback was that join group was a little too vague. So we just added fitness to it to better align with the user's expectations. So now we can take a look and see if user performance improved after these changes.
Yeah, so this is some of the data from our second round of usability testing. Again, we sourced 6 participants with generally the same kind of breakdown in terms of gym frequency. So at a high level, this is an overview of, again, our second round of usability testing. Overall, we saw increases in just about every single area, which we love to see. But again, most importantly, we saw drastic increases in regards to how easy or difficult participants found the task easy to complete and how confident they were in that they completed the task successfully. And in the next slide, yeah, we actually outline that increase across all 6 tasks. So that percentage of increase went anywhere from 20% all the way to 60% for task number 5. So overall, these are kind of our key takeaways from our second round of usability testing. Is that 1, tasks were easier to complete with the updated design. Users felt more confident that tasks were done correctly. And that 91% of participants said they would use UXercise. Additionally, the top requested gym features included gym occupancy tracker, personalized workout plans, personalized meal plans, and the ability to reserve a machine ahead of time.
So here are storyboards that incorporate the features that could not properly be shown within the wireframes.
After a long day of work, Maria decides to do a workout in her backyard. She puts on her AR goggles, selects her instructor, and chooses her workout location, as she wants somewhere to wind down and relax while she fuels her body. She is then transported to a warm and fresh coastal paradise where she is greeted by her favorite instructor, Mark. Mark is able to guide her to complete her 30-minute workout and is then ready to return back to reality. She takes off her goggles and returns to her backyard and can finish the rest of her day feeling energized, relaxed, and refreshed. Jake is thinking about his goals for the new year and wants to become the healthiest and strongest version of himself. He decides to download the LA Fitness app, which he heard can help him with his workouts and meal planning. He navigates to the nutrition goals section of the app and is able to input his personal data. After submitting, a meal and workout plan is generated for him. He is also able to see what his body would look like if he followed this plan for 6 months, thanks to the AI body scan feature within the app, giving him motivation to achieve his goals. When Jake arrives at the grocery store, he is able to open his lists through the app in order to figure out what is needed for his meal plans. After grocery shopping, Jake heads to LA Fitness in order to complete his workout for the day.
So our current limitations include some features not being fully functional, such as drop-down menus, which may have impacted user flow. We also had time constraints as the process was limited by academic deadlines, which restricted the number of refinements that we could apply. There are also environmental differences through testing. So users may have tested the app in non-gym environments, which doesn't fully replicate like real-world usage. The next one is participant bias. So some testers were familiar with fitness apps or some weren't. So that could definitely have some bias within doing the usability testing. And our last one is limited device testing. With testing on different devices, there might not be a wide range of screen sizes available on the mobile devices, which limits our understanding of responsive performance. So our resources we use to guide us through this project are ChatGPT, Canva AI video, and we cited our resources from our literature review below. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed our project. And thank you, Dr. Kim, for all your help.